And we're live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hexagon TTRPG. If it's your first time here, I'm Brent, and I'm thrilled to have you join us for today's adventure. Moving between accents slowly.
What campaign are we playing? This Necrobot.
Like a Swedish
We're
little,
playing Progenitors, Bloodlines. We're going to be diving in, so grab your dice and let's roll. Today, we're starting with Simon.
Hey, I'm playing Wilm Fair. Wilm has, well, if you are new to the Dimensionauts Progenitors campaign, Wilm is one of the experiments that has found his way outside the lab. And a little fun fact about Wilm is that Wilm's parents, Lorna and Gil Fair, were farmers.
They were farmers. What do you know what crops they farmed?
Well, it depends on the year, right? Because you don't want to. Well, because it's good to rotate crops to make sure that because they use different nutrients, so you just kind of rotate the fields and rotate what you're actually growing every year.
Hold on. One of your other facts was that you were sending money to your elderly parents.
Yeah, they
Does
were
that mean that
farmers.
They're poor.
They became elderly and they can no longer support themselves.
They lost all the workers got sent away, man.
That's a little too true.
Hey everyone. Glad to be back. Glad to be here. I am playing Otto, another one of the experiments that is now outside of the facility that is probably exploded. A fun fact about me, Otto, the arachnid bipedal, is that Otto does not believe in the sanctity of life. He simply believes in the inherent value of stories. It just so happens that creatures with the ability to tell or contain stories within them also share that value. So he does value them in the end. It's kind of the same end point, but it's a fundamental difference that will probably get him in trouble or ostracized eventually.
You're setting yourself up to be the bad guy there.
Get him off the stream. I'm Peter. I'm playing Tomas, the big brute, kind of a bald Tarzan individual with bonding emotional powers. He can kind of sense people's emotions and reflect them through himself and a little face that protrudes from his forehead. Tomas, he's like he thinks that no one else knows, but he's a little bit of a musician. Thanks to Otto, actually. Ever since he was added to our enclosure, he would sneak off when he thought everyone else was busy with something or while they were sleeping to pluck away at the webs and play little tunes, sometimes with his whole body kind of like bouncing on them from place to place. And so he's a little bit like reserved about it. He doesn't want anyone else to know, but I feel like the other two probably know.
So that's what jazz is.
I was wondering what was
I'm
that?
so untrained, it's just naturally jazz.
Wow!
Twanging was.
I forgot that was a signature Otto quote.
You like jazz?
Not even a B, man.
Yeah. I do have a core question, which is, if you're an alien to Earth and you're reading about other aliens to Earth, are you not just a normal person, and are they not just vampires and werewolves?
Confirming multiple types of aliens and of vampires and werewolves.
Did that off? Whoa, Stephanie might be from another planet.
Wait, I'm looking at the titles of all the Twilight books. Okay, so we have a title for the first one, but the second one's called New Moon. So like, would the second entry be like Satellite or something in this case? Then Eclipse and then Breaking Dawn. We gotta figure out what the name of every book in this series is.
Gotta come back and watch the eps.
Yeah, that's that's your your facts for next time.
The next like 6 facts.
That is so. Oh my god. Well, I'm looking forward to that, and you can look forward to it too. Make sure to say hi if you're new in chat, and hit that follow button to stay in the loop and learn more about what potential alien Twilight books would be called, because you know that's the core focus of this campaign. You can catch up with us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at the Hexagon TTRPG if you've missed any of the previous episodes. Without further ado, let's get started. So, as always, last time on Progenitors Bloodlines, my notes say eating chicken and Otto is absent. So I won't ask Otto for a recap, but basically we started off eating chicken in the valley. There was some scouting that went on. There was some information that was learned a little bit about this new world from our characters. And then as we traveled towards the forest where the chicken was found, the cockatrice, we started to put down roots, and there's a little bit of like a camp going on, a little bit of a new settlement, where already the different peoples are coming together and helping each other out to kind of just cohabitate this place. So now you have shelter a little bit in the form of the trees, in the form of Otto's people's webs, kind of stringing things together. You have Wilm's people lighting fires, and basically keeping people warm. You have Diana's people. No, sorry. You have Quinn's people. Quinn's people are, kind of like putting, things together, starting to create little shelters. And then you have the kind of scouting parties right now, which are Tomas's people. And so all 4 nations come together at the edge of the forest. But with a kind of a nod awake by Tomas's right hand man, and then a quick scan using his empathic abilities, it was confirmed that there is a fearful scouting party that has become lost somewhere in the forest. They are missing. And oh no, I don't have the name handy right now. Does anyone remember the Otto's the one of Otto's people?
No,
Kalen is
Karen is
Tomas's. Yeah,
Tomas's.
Yeah.
pardon, I don't have
Peter,
the
your
name.
notes say shit. I don't know her name.
Yeah, it's literally in parentheses. So shit, I forgot. One of Otto's tribe. Yeah. Oh, actually, I wrote Tibru.
Was it Isandriel?
That sounds right. It was
Sure.
something like that. Yeah.
It was Isandriel. I put a huge space over here, so I'm like, I feel like I was about to write the note properly, and then I didn't. All right, anybody at home? We're retconning it right now. It's Isandriel. So Isandriel is leading Tomas and was it Wilm? Did you guys depart together?
I don't think he took anybody with him. He just left.
I
So
left
just
with
Isandriel, Kalen, and Tomas.
I feel like it was literally just Tomas and Kalen.
no. There was a spider lady. She was like guiding us through the darkness.
Okay. But yeah, no, you didn't take anybody else. Just like it should just be us.
Yeah. I don't know if
And
maybe
you,
like you gave us torches or something.
Did you make?
I mean, we had,
I didn't give you anything.
Because I
Or if
think
Will gave you.
because there was like fires and stuff, so that maybe I'm just making that up.
I mean, there had been torches like kind of prepared for the patrols and such, but you guys had just specifically said we're not taking anybody.
Okay.
So like you had gone off, so that's why I was like, oh, I don't think none of my people were with you.
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, we have Isandriel, Kalen, Tomas, just scurrying off into the woods, into the deep darkness. Your small animal cries. Leaves scuttling. Slight breeze, the swaying of the treetops a little, exposing some stars here and there, which are slowly being covered by dark rolling clouds that I think, if you remember last time, were coming in. And it looks like it was going to rain, which was adding to the decision to seek cover. Otto, you're awake. It's late. You know Asandriel has left to go help. You've been informed by one of your people. He just comes and bows, has told you what's happening, that there's something going on. There's a scouting party missing. What are you thinking? What do you want to do right now?
I'm thinking trusting Tomas. Do I trust Isandriel to be useful? Or
So
do I know her?
Asandriel, unfortunately, last time you weren't here, and I had a chance to start building everyone's kind of like seconds in command and stuff like that. Basically, some trustworthy NPCs. Asandriel is one of your trustworthy NPCs in that she has a gift for transformation magic. And so she was able to transform into basically a medium-sized spider. And that's how she's leading Tomas and Kalen through the forest right now.
Sick. Okay. Two trusted individuals. I will not waste brain power worrying about them. And instead, maybe I will start to go around to my people and greet them and converse with them. Try and build like a rapport, a sort of closeness to my tribe.
And so you go to speak with them. You roll me an intellect to get a good feel. I believe I made Willem do this as well. But as you converse with them, like already you start to feel a little bit of that connection that everyone else felt of like there's an attachment a little bit to you. And I think in your case, it's a little bit physical too. All of your people are in this web that you're kind of weaving, you know, metaphysically, we would say, but some of it actually physically, kind of leading to where you are. And as you go through, you notice the vibrations as you walk amongst them.
Alrighty. Intellect. Oh, let's see. Nothing to help me. That's fine. That's a 9.
A 9. So on a 9, as you go through them, you hear whispers, and these whispers start to build. And I think you just continue pushing forward and talking. But as the whispers are building now, you notice that it is distracting for your people around you, and that actually they've kind of been gathering in your wake. And one of them, finally gets the confidence to step forward and says, "Otto, what are you to us? What are the four of you? There's something different, something strong. All of you seem to have your memories. We have gaps, and we have these new abilities that we seem to not fully have had before."
May I ask you a question first?
kind of like retreats a little, but like is the vox of this crowd.
What is your purpose here in this group?
Well, each of us have spoken, and I know how to hunt. Those memories are clearest to me. I know how to put together traps for game.
That is great. You have an ability or a group of abilities that allows you to be useful and you are being put to good use. And I am sure that is satisfying to you. Much like you, me, and my friends have a set of skills and abilities that grant us this placement amongst you to guide and lead and shape. And it is nothing more than that. You are a good hunter, and we are good leaders. That is all.
But the bond that we feel, that is just an ability you possess to connect us all?
Perhaps the words that we use to describe things are sometimes not fitting, but in this case, in this moment, I would say that yes, it is simply something that we have that allows this to happen.
Nods, but you hear, like the younger boy kind of like off to the side, just like, what do we call you? Do we just call you Otto?
You may call me.
Shush, shh, be quiet, boy.
No, it is fine. We have voices to speak. We should use them. You
Yeah.
may I like shoot him like a little like glare for a second. But then I just look back at this individual in front of me. You must ask the others what they would like to be called, if not called by their names. But you can simply call me the messenger, for there is still someone above me whose words and wisdom guide me to guide you.
Is that where the bond comes from? And even the man from before. So there is something else, something more?
Well, I do have the ability to give that connection to you. So while, yes, I do have an ability that allows me to do this, it is also true that there is something else out there, something greater.
Roll me an intellect again. As you weave your story, this is going to be a difficulty 4, so difficult. Target number 12. Do you have any assets to add to that?
You know, I have deception trained. I don't necessarily want to rely on like deceptive tactics though necessarily. I am being untruthful in a way.
Yeah, I would say you are not being truthful.
But I don't know. I guess it's just semantics, really. I am being deceptive, but I don't want to be deceptive, but I am.
You have good intentions for your deception.
I do have shit. Any task created related to creating a narrative, including deception, is another
Alright.
thing I'm trained in. So I'll use those two, and then I'll use a.
Wait, these are two you're
I'm trained
two
in
separate
deception, and then I'm trained in like storytelling, like creating narratives. But then it says like this also includes deception because I'm creating a narrative.
Okay.
So I guess it's like there's a deception, and then I can use this as like the way that I'm kind of wording everything to be like there's this greater thing, even though none of it's actually true.
Yes. You are trained in stories, but you are specialized in lies.
There we go. Now, maybe I am the bad guy. I'll use an edge or a effort or fuck, I've already forgotten. Effort, but my edge makes it less by 1. It's 3, right, for the first one. How have I forgotten everything already?
You seem to remember it all while I'm changing
It's coming
music in the
back, it's coming back.
background. So.
So I'll use 1 of those, and I got a 3.
So you got a 3. Your target number was a 6 after your 2 assets. Oh no, sorry.
Plus
Yeah,
effort,
2 assets
so
and
it's 3.
an effort. Target number was 3.
Oh,
So you just meet it, and you start to weave this story in front of everyone. You know, it's not so many words, but looks start to pass between people. They feel the power and the connection to you, and there's no reason not to believe you, right? So far things have been a little fantastical, if not I think, what's the word I'm looking for, not surprisingly so, right? Waking up, having powers, I think all of it becomes very believable very quickly, because now you're all of a sudden you're used to these things. And I think as the day has worn on, as people's memories have fully started to form, as they've started to acclimate to being awake and alive as things are right now, this is just another settling, another layer of reality kind of sinking in. And you hear your people whispering, progenitor, progenitor, progenitor. It's passed around.
I allow it to be spoken without correction or affirmation. Just let it fester among them. Do I know like the meaning of this word or like the weight behind it?
I think you would know the weight. You have a grasp of language.
Just the basic English language. Or common, I guess.
I'm like, how
Texan.
English is the word progenitor, actually?
It is fully an English dictionary word.
But the roots are Latin, right?
I believe so, yes.
Middle English, Old French, Latin, progenitor, progenit, begotten, pro forward. Oh, progenier, for begetting, yeah, forward and beget. So basically, someone who is getting the future.
I like that.
Begotten. Interesting. This word has evolved a lot over time.
I just like I'll continuously be vague, especially about like if they're asking how they got their abilities and stuff. Like it's just like you just have them. Like you have these skills, you know these things, and you have these powers. Like it's just as simple as that. You have them. Maybe like trying to get them not to question it too much, but not lying to them about it. Just kind of being like, it is what it is.
Well, so approaching it like that, I think that, you know, like that little boy is just like, oh, and I can do this, and just like sprays a bunch of like web on somebody, and like, and someone's like, oh, well, actually, like I'm adept at, and they're able to manipulate it and like take it off this person, and they start to share abilities with you, and like, what are these new things, and what are we able to do, and what we're not able to do. I think that some people are like, oh, well, I feel the bond to you, and I don't seem to have any magic. Like I'm just a kind of a normal person. I don't even have any, you know, physical traits or anything. And you see people trying to accept each other, and you know, someone who has like small claws on their hand is like, okay, well, you know, I'm the same as this other person, and we all share in this bond. And it's like, well, how do we, you know, you see them trying to, in a sense, differentiate themselves from the other people who woke up. Is that something that you want to happen, or is that something that you're like, no, we're all the same, we just have, different skill sets?
Yeah, definitely the latter. Like you do, like there is a difference. It's not. I wouldn't like discount that the fact that some of these people have these really cool abilities and stuff, but it doesn't make them a different species of any kind. You're all one, and like maybe I'll say like we are all one. Like I'll make sure to include myself amongst them, so that even those who feel like they're maybe a little bit more powerful than the others, when they're grouped in with me, maybe they feel like, okay, if he's saying we're on his level, then like these people are on my level too. Like the gaps between us don't matter.
Yeah. And I think you start to make inroads with your people. Well, most of everyone else sleeps. Your people being nocturnal. Although some other people not being nocturnal, except for Asandriel. Leading Tomas, or rather, Tomas, would you have taken the lead at some point, or would you have been letting Asandriel kind of like pick her way through the forest?
I'm trying to remember at the end of last sesh exactly if we were in a particular order. I do remember though that we had come across something in the darkness. But no, I think Tomas is just going. He's just going. And she was able to keep up. We all did like speed checks or something, and she was definitely able to keep up.
Yeah. I am remembering a flying snake.
Yeah.
I
don't think I could see it, but yeah, there was definitely something that came at me.
Okay, so yeah, so everyone's keeping up. You said you're not taking the lead. You're letting her pick the way forward because because she can see in the dark. And I think that same thing as last time. You hear the rustling. You're all going forward. All of a sudden, this snake pitches out of the black, kind of like tree Naruto, old Naruto style, as you're moving through the trees, and they're just kind of like going by you as you like go into the forest a little bit deeper, toward where you last felt that emanation of emotion. All of a sudden, it's like this snake is kind of like just flying straight at Asandriel. You have the drop on it.
Oh, nice. Okay. So I'm just hearing it lash out at someone.
You're hearing it like come towards her, but like it's just like going straight at her.
Okay. Yeah, I'll immediately drop down to either try and intercept it, or at least just be there ready to help defend if they're attacked.
Yeah. If you want to intercept it, go ahead and roll some sort of attack to smack this thing or grab it.
Okay. I'll do a speed roll. That is a 2.
Okay. Do you have any assets that would have made that easier?
Climbing, running, jumping.
You're already doing those things, so I will say no.
Oh, okay. What else I got here? I do have well, I guess it doesn't really pertain to it. I have placate animals. I don't know if that also like bleeds into sort of like animal insight, like trying to get the jump on it, like knowing it's going to strike out before it actually does. Otherwise, no, I don't really have anything for the particular scenario.
I'll let you use placate animal. How about this? I'll give you an XP if you catch the snake and don't hurt it.
I mean, I'll take that.
You'll take that?
I'll take it. That gives you like a free fuck with the player card, right? Like if I
I'm
take that
asking you
EXP?
to, because I want you to take a story decision, and then
Okay.
I have to offer up a reward.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll jump in and I'll grab it by its freaking neck.
All right, you grab it by the neck, and it wraps around your arm. But you have it here, and you look at it, and the snake seems afraid, but I think in this moment you're holding it and you have control of it, right? You've placated in a sense of like you've intimidated it.
Okay.
You're much stronger than it, and you have control of the situation. And I think you're able to notice like it's beautiful. It has rainbow shimmering like oil over water patterns of scales. It is a black snake. The wings that are spreading out from the snake's body, there are 6 of them, and they are these feathered owl-like like fluffy wings, allowing it to kind of like fly silently through the air. So the the thing that you had heard was a hissing sound and not like flaps like wing beats. Kaylin looks at you and, oh, snack.
No. I think as I'm holding it, I'm feeling like a tinge of its fear, and I'm also sort of like feeling the people who are lost in these woods. I had gotten a very strong sense of fear from them as well, and it's kind of like the 2 types of fears are sort of mixing together, and I have no interest in harming this thing, and I think I'll even just kind of like toss it away, like just away from us. I go, we must find the others.
You say that, and a little bit of light at the edge of your vision. You flip your head to look, and the snake is gone. And you hear kind of like like a little titter of laughter, and then from the other, little rustle of leaves, and you see that a little acorn is in the kind of like path before you. Isandriel is there. She like in her spider form now, like has like crawled up onto Kaylin's back, and you can see like her head is like facing away from his back, and so he's like turning and looking forward. So basically, they have 360 degrees of vision.
Awesome.
So he's just, what do you see? And she's like, I can't see anything, even with my vision. There's nothing there. And as you look around, how hard do you look?
Well, it's already hard to see in this place.
Yeah.
So I think I'm kind of like squinting, trying to look, and as she says that she can't really see anything, I think I'm more focused on listening for the sounds.
You hear a click of fingers, and it's from right in front of you.
Oh.
And as you zero in on that click, that laughter, and you are blinded as a bright light just Kaylin tackles you to the ground. You scuffling. Asandriel's like, ah! And he's, oh, sorry. And as your vision starts to kind of like come back, you get those, auras and echoes in your vision of light. It goes back to the dark woods, and you see just a few fireflies just go off into the forest.
This place is no good. Is everyone else all right?
Asandriel says, I caught a glimpse of them. It was a small thing. It had no... My vision sees warmth, and it had no warmth to it. But I could see a bit of magical aura, maybe. Didn't seem like any sort of mammalian woodland creature.
I think I stay quiet for a little bit, just like listen out to see if I hear any more laughter. Well, it is gone now. It is gone. We should continue. And I started taking off in whatever direction we were going before we stopped.
Roll me an intellect roll.
Okay.
And this is going to be intimidating. That's a target number 18.
Oh.
As you take your first step in the direction that you thought was the direction you were going,
Mm-hmm.
you realize that the wood looks different.
You said 18?
Yeah.
I got a 10.
Okay. And I think even giving you an asset, if I was to give you one for running, jumping, climbing, if you try to kind of find your way, all of a sudden you're completely turned around. And Isandriel just looks a little bit concerned, seems to kind of skitter on the ground, goes up off into a tree. You hear her voice call out from above. Seems like the edge of the forest, and she comes back down, is that way.
What?
So if we would be going the other way, and kind of turns around, looks that way. Kaelin, don't like this forest at night. This is probably what happened to the scouters.
If we cannot even find them, well, we know the way out.
Or is it being shown to us?
I do not think we should leave them. Even if we get lost in these woods.
Then we forge ahead. The end location vaguer than before.
And I'll turn to her. I keep wanting to say Lathandriel, but it's not that. It's Lysandriel?
Isandriel.
Isandriel. Oops.
Or Isandriel. And I keep saying it differently, so I'm not helping anyone's case when it comes to pronouncing it.
Isandriel. Is this okay with you? Is this okay with you? I'm just doing the Pip voice, so I gotta find a way to change it up.
Yes, I'm here at the behest of Otto to use my dark vision to guide you.
Thank you. We continue. If there are more strange lights in these woods, and maybe we can wait out the darkness.
Kaelin looks down, and there's, maybe an older, a young tree that had kind of got, fallen over, or maybe pushed over by an animal or something. He grabs the dirt between his fingers, crumbles it, smells it. This forest is alive. We shall go slow, and we shall be prepared. And he takes this tree covered in kind of moss and just kind of yanks it out of the ground. There's a spray of dirt. And he has what looks like an old gnarled staff in a way, with the roots kind of all frayed up at one end with a big knot. He just hefts it a little and goes, yes. Looks at Isandriel. On my back. And you see her two front legs coming over and her head peek over one side. So, I will guard you. Nods at you, Tomas.
Good. Isandriel, guide me. And I start taking off into the dark.
Yeah. And I think she does. She's like, all right. And then like, whoosh, whoosh, and we'll like throw little webbings to kind of like help guide your way, almost like if you've ever gone hiking and there's little trail markers. And you guys start to go further into the wood again. You don't see or hear anything for a little bit. And even the, scattered chitterings or rustling of branches and leaves begins to quiet, a deep silence. And as you run, your foot hits a point where you realize that you don't make any sound. And as you continue to run, it is so quiet. You hear your heart beating in your chest. All of a sudden, you think you can hear the blood moving through your veins, circulating, the fluid inside your ears, sloshing as you turn your head. You begin to stumble. I'm going to need you to roll me a might check.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to use an effort.
Okay.
Not necessary, but it's too late now. I rolled a 19.
Incredible. A 19. That gives you a minor benefit as well. Because you used an effort, though, you succeed by more than 5. So you stumble and you realize what's happening. It is sucking the sound out of here. The trees are covered in deep mosses. The forest floor is actually full of dead and decaying matter, mossed over. So this is basically, and in Earth, as like we would know it, right? Us, the players, there's the dead forest in Japan, where there's just so much dead wood and debris that is piled up and basically laying dormant in a place that nothing lives. And so it is completely silent, and it kind of like just is so quiet. There's also a place in the world where the decibels are so far into the negatives that it drives people crazy to be in that room, right? It is so quiet, and you are the source of all noise. And that's what's happening, is that there's a cross between no exterior sounds and you can only hear yourself. Kalen is kind of like retching on the floor a little bit. You can see that he's bleeding in places where Isandra has like clawed into him, seems to be like clutching him. And you can't hear him retching at all. It's so silent here that it is, as soon as the sound is leaving him, it's being sucked away.
Oh shit. Okay. I was wondering. I'm like, well, we're like right next to each other, so at least we could probably hear each other, but not even.
No.
I see him like fall over. Is Isandriel doing all right?
All right, she's clutched on it. She's like locked into him, like into his flesh at this point.
Oh god. Yeah. Okay. So I kind of like rush over. I go, shit. What was his name? Kalen. And as I'm saying it, like, can I even hear it?
You hear nothing.
Kalen!
You would hear it
Like,
more as like a
inside me?
reverberation inside you.
Okay. Yeah, but it's like muffled. It's weird. It's kind of like fading away as I'm saying it. And I kind of
You're like hearing
right
your
over him.
voice like in the other room almost, but it's in your chest that
Mm.
like it's like the origin of the sound is like where you're hearing it from almost.
That's so trippy. And I kind of like lean over him and I just go, Kayla! I'm trying to like scream as loud as possible for any noise to reach him.
So, piggybacking on your 19 and your minor benefit, you are able to catch his attention, and he like weakly grabs you, and I think you see like he's struggling to maintain consciousness.
Shit. Okay. I'll kind of like hold him so that he stays like touching me, clutching me. And the only thing sounds I can hear are coming from myself. So I just kind of like don't really know how to like articulate. I'm probably saying it too. And I go, Kalen, even though it's not reaching him. I go, listen to yourself, to your heart. I kind of like pound my chest, take his other hand, press it up against his chest.
You see his lips moving, no sound, his eyes fluttering. His weight starts to get heavier and heavier as he like drags down towards the ground as you hold his arm.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pull him up, and I mean, Sandriel's on his back, but I guess with the two of them, I'm just gonna try and throw him over my shoulder.
Yeah, he's fully leaning into you as that you're doing this, and he tries to kind of like hop himself, like almost like to walk with you, but then that kind of falls limp as you start to take steps. Are you going further into this forest, or are you going back?
I'm still going forward.
Right?
Yeah, I'm still taking steps forward. At least now, I don't. If Isandriel is not guiding me anymore, then I'm kind of just going in what I believe is the direction we were heading in.
You walk. You walk. You walk for 20 minutes. And now as you walk and you touch the ground, you start to sink. And it starts to be like you're wading through like mud. But it's all these layers and layers and layers of forest that have built up over so many years. And now as you start to walk, the silence as your head now struggles, as you're pushing through, you're carrying them, you start to feel something slithering, moving over your body. And you can start to hear things now that your ears go below the line. It's like clicking, like.
And just to be clear, I'm like in water, or is it just so much moss that it's like
It's moss and dead leaves and branches and roots, but you're able to push through it, almost like you're wading down into water. But as it passes over you, like it's light enough that you can breathe. And as you walk, you start to feel like there's more structure, and you pierce your hand first into what appears to be a firmer surface, and you open it and kind of stumble through into a kind of cave made of all of these old and dead roots where something has burrowed through, enough times that it compacted the sides a little bit with the detritus. So Kalen, gasping for breaths, you can see he's kind of coming to a little bit. You hear him just go, "All right, Sandria, let go of me, you bitch." And she just transforms back into her into herself. She goes, "Shut up, you meathead." Like, Tomas,
good. You're alive, and I can hear you. I will give them both a hug.
And you hug them, and they kind of like, okay, we just need a minute here. And as you look back, you see in that sea of decaying matter as it kind of like folds down slowly, but too quick, right? It would take forever for it to close back up, and it seems almost like something is pushing it, moving it back in, and filling all the gaps. And you catch sight of exactly what that is: tree roots moving, slithering as the insects and the worms eat and digest and provide nutrients for the forest. It covers up the wound that you made wading into this place. The wall, though, like the dirt just kind of pushes up to it and then spills a little bit in. But the wall, this like compacted area, does not reform. So there is like an easy exit. Like you would be able to find this place again, per se.
Okay.
But now it is completely dark here, and I think the last thing you see as it covers up, and it fills in that last bit, is the sun was just starting to first rays hitting the treetops. You've been out all night.
Damn. Okay. I think I let the other two, take a moment to collect themselves, and I sit down with them. I'm probably pretty damn tired carrying the two of them the entire night, and I think we'll just sit there for a bit and.
Right.
Yeah,
You just start to
just
take a short rest, as you will. The D&D 5e in me is saying you should take a point of exhaustion because you didn't sleep. We don't have that in Cypher. So what I'm going to say is that you're going to take a detriment to your rolls. So
Okay.
everything is going to be one step harder until you have a long rest.
Okay, understood. Okay.
Which feels much worse than in D&D in a sense, but in another sense, you won't die from it necessarily. So I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
Toss up.
Understood.
That being said, we're going to zoom back out. Quinn. Is the sound of May as she wakes up next to you and kind of like roars a little bit, just like, gets quiet, turns to look over and sees that your two eyes open and staring back at her. She goes, morning. She rolls over like this. Did you dream? No, I used to forget, but ever since the long sleep, I guess I'm gonna remember. It was like last night when we went to sleep. Now I can remember all the things that I do, and I didn't know I did so many things. No, what I did now, last night. Well, I mean, Pat, it's impossible that it was from the past because I was talking to. There's like all of these little kids, and they were laughing at us. Yeah, but then when I went to like talk to them and tell them to stop laughing, they turned really old, and it was like I had such a hard time understanding them, and then they were laughing again. It wasn't that fun, let me tell you. Yeah. But I was doing everything my body, like when I was like, I'll walk up to the person and I walked up to them, you know? I'm going to do that next time. You see her lie back as you're saying that and then close her eyes. Come get me later. Yep, few people starting to be up, starting to take care of the fires again, get the things warm. You hear somebody grumble, they're hungry.
Point of order. I think because we had set up patrols to go like to kind of rotate throughout the night,
Mhm.
one of my people would have been in like that would be able to like kind of control the flames would have been in patrols and had been kind of like taking care of the fires like throughout the night just because
Yes.
it probably gets really cold without like a source of heat.
Yes,
So like they're
absolutely.
probably still like lit come morning.
Yeah. So, but a few of them they're building back up a little bit to
Okay.
be more cooking or a little bit hotter. Can't maintain a yeah. And I think people start to congregate a little. Talking, going to get water, realizing that we have no containers for water. That being an issue. You see someone run up to you, just like a younger man. Goes, "Hey, I'm Jack." Goes to shake your hand. Nice to meet you, Quinn. Um, Tomas is gone. He's kind of missing. Last night around, seems maybe he went out with Kaylin, um, and Otto sent Isandria with him, but she hasn't returned, and Otto's people have informed the rest of us kind of that they went out scouting. That means that we're missing 2 scouting parties now. Not sure. Hoping maybe you would talk to Will. He hasn't woken up yet. We just kind of got this news too. I was coming to get you because I was near here. Uh, yes, ma'am. Would you like a company? Of course, of course. It's well, and he kind of like shows you, and he's got this like interesting looking line on his skin, a pattern similar to Kaylin's patterns. But instead of like being repeating, it's just like you know slower repetitions, almost like stretched out. So I'm one of Tomas's people, uh, just perhaps less physically inclined. Jack Osborne at your service. Yeah, I seem to remember a little bit more of my memories than other people, but yeah. Great. I was hoping to talk to you about it. And he dies right in. And he just starts talking to you, and he remembers being like a marketer, um, and so he knows business and like economics and finance a little bit, and he was just talking about how it's so weird that the last thing he was doing was like evacuating an office building, and then he wakes up here and he feels more athletic than he's ever been, but also nobody remembers what it was like to live in like the city you were in. And he's like, "You remember that place? Were you there?" Basically the city where the facility was in. Prometheus Ascending. That's crazy. Yeah, and we have something in common. Surely, yes. You get to Wiln. He's like talking to you. He's just like, man, remember coffee? Just like trying to like awkward small talk. Uh, ah, my gosh, I loved anchovies on pizza. It was the best. Pineapple and anchovies. Will, you awake to the sounds of blasphemy.
Uh, what's okay? Give me a second. Um, hello, hello.
Otto, would you have been going to find Wilm and Quinn?
After hearing about that they're pretty much lost or not
Yeah,
lost.
that Assange never came back.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So right behind Quinn, Otto shows up.
I mean, I'm just waking up, but Otto's right there.
He left with my assistant and assistant of his own. I assumed they would be back shortly. They're both capable, but they have not returned.
All right. And why did they leave?
There was another search party, if I'm remembering correctly, that was missing, and they went to find them.
Okay.
So I believe we have 2 missing parties now.
Hey, Jack here. Yeah, there was 5 people in Tommaso's original party, and it seems like there were 3 in this other party that was sent to go get them. Nice to meet you guys.
Jack.
Hello.
8 people missing. All right.
Yeah, call me Jack, Ozzy. It suits you guys.
Jack. All right.
Cool.
Well, not quite set up here yet. Should we tell everyone to continue just setting up everything here while we go look for the missing people? I just feel like, what if a big group causes more disturbance in the forest than we'd want and draws more attention than we need? Well, first of all, do we have a way of tracking them? like everyone's been speaking about this bond they feel with certain individuals. Otto, do you feel some sort of pull away from this grove?
Yeah, Jack looks at you guys and goes, well, I don't know about the other guys, but I'm a little more of a, head guy. And when I really concentrate, I can kind of get a vague sense of intensity if I walk a certain way. And right now, if it's deeper towards the forest, I can kind of do that. So that could, maybe help.
Yes.
That would be helpful.
What? You do. You have a bond, but it's not. It depends how much energy you want to put into it. Um,
Hmm. Are you asking if I do feel it, or are you asking me to attempt to feel it? Give me 1 second. I will try to send out vibrations from within me.
you see Otto concentrating, and I think the main thing you feel, Otto, is the web that you've built this past night. The people who were more convinced are a little bit more obvious to you, and you can feel them around you in a vague sense, almost as kind of, how would I explain this? If when you close your eyes it's dark, you can feel that there's more light in a direction. Right? Very vague. So if you concentrate hard for Sandriel, I won't make you roll because she wasn't there. And so it seems like she's almost like left the web. Right, is beyond that sensory.
She has left. Well, yes, she has left my web. It would seem we must rely on Ozzy. Jack? Yes, Jack. We must rely on your connection.
Yeah, I forgot that I said to call me Ozzy for a second. I think Jack is fine.
That's fine.
Sure, we can go. You think it's dangerous? Should I hide behind you guys?
If you wish. But let's just grab some things before we go. Torches. I'd like to use the bathroom before we leave.
Go ahead. Just watching. Go.
I'm right. Just wait here. He's gonna head off. Use the bathroom.
Head off towards the bathroom. Some people say hi to you. Yeah, is there anything you guys want to do as you group up and get ready to go? Do you want to take more people with you? Is this like a big party that you want to bring?
Personally, Wilm doesn't want to bring too many people.
Yeah. Maybe is anybody chilling? Like, is anybody's just street chilling from my tribe?
So many people. I think that it. You guys are nocturnal, right? So now day is breaking. So I would say it's the opposite, right? Everyone else was going to sleep and they were helping with a little bit of patrols, and some of Wilm's people staying up late, and so now they're all going to bed. right? They're kind of nesting up.
I was thinking that would be very long. Like the longest, like little.
It took
Squeeze it out.
all of Otto's people who are capable of making spider thread, basically spider silk, to create some sort of like shade structures over everyone. So now they're doing their long rests to kind of get those abilities back, in a sense. Hey, yeah, I have to go with you. Like I'm part of the tech in your suit. So if you like walk too far away from me, I kind of just start getting dragged along. Yo, yeah, I go pretty far. I go like 100 feet or something. Yeah, and it does need line of sight. He's like, if there's a tree, I can't really hide behind it unless I'm really close to you. And then I can kind of like bounce light around. He's like, that's great. He's like, do it. I'm ready. If you want to spend one intellect point, you can try to project Mentor. You do. You project him into the sky. It's like not as strong as the bat signal or anything. Like it's day now, but you can project him a little bit further that way. And he's like, "Look at me!" And he comes back small. Maybe I will say only you could hear me. So I am saying, "Look at me." I was just making a funny voice, and it was for you. Thank you. I
Chicken.
stand to reason. Yes, sir. Let's go. He starts to lead the way. So Otto will. I was gonna say Otto, Wilm, Quinn, Jack. You all start to make your way.
This would be a good time for our own little break.
Yes, I am. So as you guys, I think, depart the camp, we will cut here, and we will be back very soon.
But although I do want to